Alright, so as we have the sidebar is visible and there's some DOMs is ready, so let's start creating our very first store. So let's open the node store.js and let's add something to get started with it. So we can import define store from Pinia because we need that, and then let's export const use node store, and let's use the define store, and let's name the store as node store like so, and it will have some objects as well. Now inside that, let's define the state, and it will be an anonymous function. Inside that there will be some objects as well. So first one, let's say the nodes, right? So we want to like populate some nodes so that we can show some data into the sidebar, and let's also add some dummy nodes as well. So I have added some dummy nodes. So you can see we have this ID, title, content, and timestamp, and then pinned. So pinned will be a boolean value with true and false, and the timestamp will be the current time that has been entered. Now let's add some getters to get the data from this store. So let's add some getters, and let's say first one is all nodes that we are taking in, and it will be in function. It will have the state, and we're gonna return all state dot nodes. All right, so from the getters, if you want to access the state in Pinia from the getters, you need to say state dot nodes. So this state is the access of your states, and this nodes is the parameter or the key of the state. Also we can get the pinned nodes, right? Pinned nodes, and we'll have the state here as well. Okay, so in order to return the pinned nodes, we need to just do some filter here. So let's do state dot nodes dot filter, and we're going to return only the node that does have the pinned value is true. So node dot pinned will return if the pinned is true, right? All right, so let's keep these two getters for now, and if we need any other getters, then obviously we can add it later. All right, now let's open the list item. So this one is the list item. So we're gonna replace this DOM through the dynamic value, but we're not gonna use those values straight into the list item. We're going to pass it through from the sidebar. So we want to have a parent-child relationship here. So to do that, let's import the use node store from add stores, and the store is node store like so. And also we need to use it, so let's do const node store, and we are going to do use node store like this. Okay, so initialization is done. Now here what we'll do, we'll pass some props from the sidebars through the list item. So let's say nodes is the first prop we are gonna pass, and that is the node store dot all nodes. So that is the beauty of the Pinia. We do not need to mention the getters whenever we are calling this node store from the node store and using this node store as a constant to get this use node store. So this node store value is actually magically knows that this is a getter, this all nodes is a getter, so we do not need to mention it separately. So we can use this all nodes into this nodes attribute. Now some more things I want to pass, so let's pass quickly and I will explain to you later. And let's say this one is all nodes. So I'm trying to make the list item more dynamic so that it will be more useful to us. And also I want to pass the icon as well, because we are using the Google Fonts icon. So let's pass one icon that is called nodes, and also I'm going to pass it to like type, so the type is list. Now what I am trying to achieve here, I'm trying to use the list item for both the list and the grid, and also I want to pass the title dynamically and icon dynamically, and obviously the nodes as well. So let's save it from here and let's go into the list item, and inside the list item I'm going to do some dynamic things here. So the first thing is, let's add a vf. So if it is like list equal to type, so that means I'm trying to access the value with type. Means if I go to the sidebar, so I'm trying to access this variable and matching with the list, but I'm not going to I'm not been able to do it directly because I need some sort of props that has been defined earlier. So I need to do some things here. So let's do const props, and that will be define props, which is actually the built-in, so we do not need to import it from the view. So the props we are getting is, the first one is nodes, and then we have title, icon, and the type. So now we can use it directly like the variable type, so it will be matched with this past props. All right, so this title will be printed, or let me check it again. So this title will only be printed when the type is list. So whenever we are passing the list item with the type list value added, only then this portion will be like printed or visible. And also we have the icon, so we can say icon here. Also we have the title, so we can say title here as well. Now the next thing is the UL. So also this UL is a list item, so vif will also needs to be applicable here. So if it is list type, then only it will be visible, and we do not need this multiple li. We can remove it, and we need to do the v for loop here. So we can say node in nodes, and obviously we need to pass the key binding because otherwise it will throw us some error. So id is the unique thing here, right? And the next thing is the title, so let's put it here. what you can say, node dot title. So for now I think it's good enough. So if I save it, you can see the data is already updated. So you can see the all nodes, node title 1, node title 2. So you can obviously understand that this value is coming from here. So if I change it to node title 1 and save it, it should be updated. Let me refresh, and you can see this node title is updated. So let's put back that down. And to understand more from the sidebar, you can see we have this all nodes. So if all nodes, we have these icons and we have this value which is coming from the sidebar. So that this list item is very usable. Like if I try to, let's say, add the pin nodes, we can actually use the same list item by sending these values dynamically, so that we can get the values here more dynamically, and it will be more easier to use, right? Otherwise what we have to do, we have to like copy and paste these same things multiple times for the all nodes, pin nodes, and maybe the search nodes as well. But right now with this mechanism we can just use this DOM only at once, but passing the data dynamically will help us not to replicate the DOMs. So let me show you the example. So this is showing all nodes. Now if I want to show the pin nodes, so let's just duplicate it, and what I can do, I can just pass the pin nodes getter that is available here. So let's just copy it, and if I do that, so if there is, sorry about that, just a copy and place it here. So if there is pin nodes, you can see this, the data is already coming. So that pin nodes data is already there. Why these two is pin nodes? If I go back, and you can see number 2 and number 3, these twos are pinned, or that means the pin value is true. Now but the title and the label is not correct, and the icon is not correct. So that we can fix easily by saying, let's say here pin nodes, and we can pass the icon to push pin, and it will update automatically. So you can see the magic of that mechanism that we have built. So right now you can see into the list item we have only this DOM, nothing else, but the value is coming dynamically from the sidebar.vue. That's why we have the advantage of using the DOM like this.